morning, Henry. How you doing? Everybody, how you doing? Buenos dias. Right now it's very hot out, just so you know. 86% humidity, ooh, which is a killer. It's going to rain today for sure. 34.45 for the Thai baht to the dollar. 81 degrees, but it's 86% humidity, which is very, very hot. 88 is the high today. 77 is the low. And right now the feel like temperature is 88 degrees. The air quality is 36, which is not too bad. We can get by with that. Same with the 34.45. We can get by with that. It's all right. So, today we're going to talk about moving to and living in Thailand. And I've got a few things to talk about. But how's everybody doing? How's what do we got right now? 8 people. 8 people. How y'all doing? Sawadee Cup, Sawadee Tong Chow. Suksabai, Suksabai. Yo, 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 good morning, Mr. Fire Dude. Nice of you to join us. Amigo, Henry. Henry is drunk. Okay, nice. Very nice. All right. Anyway, that's good. I'm glad everybody's doing all right. But if you're going to move here, this is kind of a basic topic. And, but it's something that most people don't think about too much. And the reason is because by the time you're ready to come here, most people, if you're ready to come here, you've already got the experience. You've already got a little bit of experience of being here. You already know what it's like to come over. You know what to expect, at least on a very small scale. That's most people. But some people, they forget that they need to look at everything, figure everything out. And, well, thank you, Jonna. Good morning. They forget that they've got to look at everything, figure out what to do and how to come over here and what the steps are, because there are some steps. And the very first step is basically just to come over here and check it out, figure things out. And I would say if you come over I used to say come over for 6 months, stay here, come over for a year, whatever. Now I just say come over for a month or two. You can always go back. If you don't like it here, you can go somewhere else. You can change your mind. However, if you're going to sell everything and you're going to ship it on over here, you got things to ship over here, you're going to have to deal with the logistics of that, and you're ready, you're coming over here, then you better make sure you want to be here. So I would say come over here, do yourself at least 1 or 2 scouting missions, and figure out, do you really want to be here? Because that's very important, and you're not going to get another chance. Once you come over here, that's it. If you're moved, you've shipped everything over here, you've got everything in a storage container, it's back home, you've sold everything, well, then you're here, and yeah, you can go back, but it's going to be a bit of a pain in the neck. So you better make sure that that you're ready to come over here. And when you do come over here, well, first of all, how old are you? That's what's important. How old are you? Are you 21? What are you coming over here for? You're going to give your whole life to living abroad, and you're not even sure of it. You're 21. You probably don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. So I would say if you're that young, just come over for a couple trips. Take a trip. Come over when you're 22, 24, whatever. Um, I would give myself a little bit of time. If anybody is listening and thinking about it, I would give a little bit of time back home because, that's something that when I was living back home, I was, 30 years old, 31 when I started thinking about it. And I had a good job. I had, you know, my own business, and I was doing very well. And I started thinking about it, and I just thought, I don't want this. But really, if I had stayed for another few years, I could have had a couple $100,000 in the bank. I didn't do that. So, it makes things a little bit more difficult, in the long run. Um, but, you're going to do what you're going to do. So, um, that's the first thing. How old are you? If you're 21, don't come over here. Don't come over here to live. Oh, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to live there and be a digital nomad. You know how many digital nomads are here? None. Almost none. There's a few. But in most cases, the guys you see that are digital nomads that are selling their courses and doing things like that, they're not making it. The reason they're not making it is because nobody wants to buy their damn courses. They don't want to buy the courses. If you think about it, why are you going to buy a course from some guy who's been here for a year? What good is that? Why do you need to pay for something like that? Why are you going to do that? You're not. So and then them coming over here, most of them are not going to make it. They'll make it for 6 months, a few, maybe a year, 2 years, and then they're like, okay, I got to go back or I got to go somewhere else. I'm going to have to try something different. So I think that's very important to think about. And I'm curious to know how many people out there have actually been here or actually want to come here. I know Fire Dude is, I think he's here now. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people are here, to be honest, that are watching. But the other thing to think about is, if you're gonna come over here, what are you gonna do when you're here? What's your mission? What's your plan? You here to retire? You're older? Okay. You got to have a set amount of money, and you want to have that steady stream coming in, and you have that, you're good to go. It's very easy for people who are retired. And you think it's not that easy, but really it is easy. And the reason that it's easy is because you just have to have certain criteria made, and then the rest is up to you while you're here. I'm still 50-50, built a house in 2019, so you live part-time in Buridem and part-time in Vancouver. Okay, that's interesting. A lot of people live part-time here and there. Well, there's some people that they live here and they make it as digital nomads. But I would say the vast majority don't make it. They come over here and they're ill-prepared and they don't make it. And that guy's been around for quite a few years, so he knows what he's doing. I had a whole different set of circumstances when I came over. It's very rare, and all the planets were alive. My situation isn't comparable to most. Well, you may say that, but most people have their own situation, and they're, for whatever reasons, they're happy to have those situations. Most people, they come over and they have XYZ. They've got they've got some kind of a business that they're working on with somebody else, or they're working for somebody and they got hired and they didn't really expect it, and so that's the way it goes. I was what was I? I was 32. 30, well, 31 and a half, something like that. I'm 57 and I can't just pull the pin on Vancouver House. I think at 60 I'll go full time. And time. That's the other thing is if you're gonna come over here, are you gonna pull the plug back home? Are you going to get rid of everything and say that's it, I'm done, and I'm gonna come over? Because you can do that, but a lot of people don't want to do that. You know, I understand it, but like I could say there's quite a few people that have come over here. There's like Jono who came over here and he basically sold everything and moved over here. You got like Mr. Billy who's gonna come over here soon. He's gonna he's basically not gonna have anything back home except a few friends. And then you have like Soy Dog Cowboy who is here part time. He's here some of the time. You've got there's a few other people. You've got like Pat Bob who lives here full time year round. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He doesn't want to do anything else. He just wants to stay here. Good morning, Dallo. How you doing? How's things going in Thailand for you? Dallo is in Thailand. He's here. He's doing the 50-50 thing. Part time here, part time there. So now he's here. So that's very good. So what's happening, Mr. Dallo? What are you up to? You're helping check off the list of your wife? I'm sure she has you busy. Enjoying the warmth. Well, that's a good way to put it, I guess. It's very, very hot right now. If you go outside today, it's extremely hot, extremely humid. Gallo has the honeydew list. So anyway, you got to think about, are you going to pull the plug or not? Because if you're going to, it's a commitment. You're committed to whatever you decide, whether it's coming here or going to Cambodia or going to Ecuador or Portugal or one of these other places. You're committed. You have to come over and you're done. You're like, okay, that's it for the U.S. I have nothing there anymore. What am I going to do? So you're going from one place to another. If you decide you don't want to be here or you don't want to be somewhere else. Painting, concreting, landscaping, and cleaning. Just watching the wife work makes me exhausted. Yeah. I'm sure she's got you doing all that stuff. Which, yeah, okay. That's a good thing, I guess. So you're going to have to come out my way. In the next, I don't know how long you're going to be here, 2 months, month and a half, whatever you're going to be here. Come out here and see me. Let's see here. Haven't heard from Mr. Andy lately, who is, I believe he's in Korea now. I think he was in Taiwan and he enjoyed his time there. And then he went to Korea and he's enjoying his time in Korea. But he hasn't checked in lately. So I'd be interested in knowing where he is and what he's doing, how he's doing. But, he'll get to us when he has a chance. Let's see here. All right, so the next thing to think about, if you're gonna, let's say you're gonna pull the plug, whatever, you're not gonna pull the plug. You still got to figure out what are you gonna do when you come here and where are you gonna live. Pierre, good morning. I must admit it, I do enjoy working around the place. I'm here until the 4th of September. Let's see, July 4th, August 4th. So yeah, it's about a month and a half. Yeah, come out, we'll go out to lunch or something. I'll find somewhere for us to eat. There are plenty of good places. And the yellow line is up and running now, so that's good. It's a little bit easier for me to get around. They don't have it fully functional, but uh, the fact that it's working does help a little. I mean, you have options. That's the thing. You can take the boat, and the boat is, in most cases, it's easier, but it's not as comfortable. You know, you take that yellow line, and it's pretty comfortable most of the time, especially if you're starting out uh, right at the beginning, or you're starting out over there at the very end on La Prau where they stop right now. There's nobody on the there's nobody on the train, so you have a seat. You come right in, you sit down, boom, you're there. Then everybody else that comes on afterwards, they gotta scramble for a seat. So yeah. So the next thing is, if you're gonna come over here, where are you gonna stay? You're gonna rent. You're gonna buy. You have a place. What are you gonna do? You want to live in a condo? You want to live in a house? What do you want to live in? And where? Where is a pretty important thing as well, because some people like living in Pattaya. Some people like living in Chiang Mai. I don't like those places to live in. They're not for me. And then some places in Thailand that are popular, like Ekamai, Satorn, Tonglor, Soi Ari, Victory Monument, Silom, Sukhumvit, down in Sukhumvit, lower Sukhumvit. These places are very popular. You can find somewhere, but it's a matter of, what's in your price range, where do you want to live, how do you want to live. So you got to figure that out. When you come, you should have some kind of a plan to where you're going to figure you need to go and find your place, or you already have to have it by the time you come. And I would not necessarily find my place while I'm in the United States unless you have some agent or something like that looking for you, who has everything set up when you come, and you go and you look at the places that you want to look at. And the reason is because you can find the places on your own if you really want. Yesterday I was over at I forget where it was, a copy place or something like that. They have up on the wall, there's phone numbers. There's like two places that they have up for rent. If you want to rent at these places, here's the phone numbers. In Songtao, they have a place. Boom, you want a place to live? Here's the phone number. Call them up. So there are places, just when you're walking around, you'll find places. But when you're walking around, if you decide you want to go to a particular area, you can walk around and just look around for apartments and go, oh, I like that apartment. And you walk right in. Ask them, do you have an apartment available? And you can go in like that. You can do it that way. That's another way. Although, it's a little painstaking because of the heat and because you're walking around. But, you need to have an idea. Like, what area do you want to live in? Where do you want to live in Thailand? So that's the next thing. Yeah, there's no regulation for those who become a real estate agent in Thailand. So if you're thinking of working with an agent, you need to vet them. You need to make sure that they have, good reputation, and don't lock yourself in if you can help it, because you don't really want to do that. Good advice not to lock yourself into anywhere, but before having a good look around Thailand. Yeah, I wouldn't pick the first place. Give it, give yourself a week to look for a place. Give yourself a week or two. You should be able to stay somewhere like an Airbnb for a month or a couple of weeks when you come over, and you should be able to figure out, what are you going to do, because that's essential. Having a home base that is near where you want to be, and Like, are you coming over here as a single person? Are you coming over here, your wife or your girlfriend? Are you coming over here with kids? What are you coming over here? And what is your purpose? What are you gonna do? You need to have money for first and last, maybe first, last, and deposit. Um, so you're gonna need like 3 months of rent, and most places will not sign someone in unless they have a 6 month or uh, 1 year contract. I mean, you can find it with an Airbnb, and you can find some places, but most places they want you to have those contracts. It's essential. So when you figure out where you're going to go, you better make sure that you really like the place, and that um, it's a place where you can stay and you're not going to have any problems. I mean, I know one particular guy who stayed in a place. It was an apartment, and it was right off of Rachida. And every time I would talk to him, he'd tell me about how someone was fighting or arguing or something like that. And it was like 3 in the morning. He's like, they woke me up, and he ended up moving from the place. But so you know, you gotta try to do what you can to vet the places where you go and make sure that they're acceptable. Yeah, I still need to plan where we are gonna be during March, April, May, scorcher season, and Udon. Yeah, I feel for you, buddy. That's the thing. I let my wife handle where we're gonna stay, what we're gonna do. She's been very good about it. She found the last two places where we live, and they've been very good. They've been very good places. So um, another thing you have to think about is, like, are you coming here to retire? Well, then where you live is not really all that important with as far as you've got to go to work. Uh, if you're going to be working somewhere, then you need to have a place it's convenient to get to work. Thailand has a robust rental market, and there are many websites to help people who want to live here. You might want to try like Fazwa's, Siam Real Estate, and Thailand Property, but you need to do your research. You're going to need to check around and make sure that the place is copacetic. All right, the next thing is your job, your visa, working here, whatever it might be. Um, because you're not going to work here without a work permit, at least not at a regular job. And understand that a digital nomad visa is not something that most people can get. They're not going to get it. You're not going to just start out and come here with some idea in your head and say, I want to do this and I want to do that. It's not going to happen. They don't care. Okay? They're thinking of the masses. It's not about, just you. And it's not just about what you want, what you feel, how things are going with you, and what's going on in your life. Nobody cares. They don't care. They want to know you've, dotted your I's and crossed your T's and everything is good. And then if you do those things and you meet all the criteria, then you're set. You can get whatever kind of visa you qualify for, whether it's an ED visa, an M visa, B visa, an O visa, OA visa, whatever it might be. But you gotta have everything taken care of when it comes to that. That's pretty important. And you can set yourself up back in the States, but I would be careful about that. You can get set up with a non-immigrant. What is it? OA. But I don't know that you'd want to get an OA. I think you want the O visa. You must have a work permit. You are not permitted to work unless you have a work permit. Non-immigrant B visa. Well, you can have a non-immigrant M visa. You can have a few things, but yeah, you need to get that. So you will need to supply a passport, medical certificate, which is not all that difficult to get. Passport, letter of employment, proof of degrees, your address in Thailand. Your employer should help you. You're going to work at a legitimate place. Your employer's going to help you. If you're working at some uh, English school and they don't want to help you get your degree, I mean, get your work permit and all your things squared away, I wouldn't work there. While living in Thailand, you only be permitted to perform the job listed on your work permit. So that means if it says you are a content creator, you must be a content creator. You cannot do something else. You're not going to be a teacher. You can't do that because of the banking. Yeah. Well, you know, you get what you get, but once you get that, you're going to need to get a stay of extension, and with that, you'll be able to stay for a year at a time. And then after that, you just keep renewing that, and you should be good to go. But you just don't let it lapse. And it's not that difficult. I mean, you know, sometimes people they decide to leave the country, and then they decide they don't want to come back. And so, if they don't want to come back, and the visa has, you've reached the time of expiry, well, then you're out of luck. So you're going to have to come back before it expires. Greetings, good morning. Once in Thailand, I was able to open a bank account. Then with my COVID, my re-entry expired. Now I'm back in an O visa. Okay, well that's good. That's good. Yeah, opening a bank account here um, is it can try your patience. I'll put it that way. If you're a foreigner and you want to open a bank account, it can try your patience. And you know, I was trying to open an account with Bangkok Bank, which I have two Bangkok banks. I have two Bangkok bank accounts. I tried to open a third, and they were telling me that I needed to, it was too bad I couldn't have another account because I already have two. And I said, no, that's not true. Don't tell me that. So they were like, nope, we're not gonna change what we say. I said, okay, fine. Went to another place, and because of the paperwork, they said, no, sorry, we cannot. And we said, okay, fine. Went to another place, and they said, oh, okay, no problem. So each branch has its own set of rules, and uh, that's how it goes. You're going to go to a branch. Basically, you can use Bangkok Bank. They tend to be pretty good. You can get in with a tourist visa at the right place, CASHAPP Bank and Siam Commercial, and those places. Depending on where you go and what you have, and you may need an affidavit from the embassy showing your address, confirming your address, and once you get that, then they'll open it up for you. And it's not that difficult once you have all the paper. Once you have all the paperwork, I mean, it takes a lot longer than I would expect. We'll put it that way. It takes, you know, I mean, by the time if you decide, oh, I'm going to go to this place, and you don't have that paperwork, and you go in, they're going to go, oh, no, you must have this, you must have, then you're going to have to go. So you go and get your affidavit. That costs you, at the U.S. Embassy, it's about, I think it's 50 or 60 bucks. So you got to pay that. Then you go back to the bank. And when you go into the bank, then it'll take you anywhere from a half an hour to an hour. And then you should be good to go. But depends on the bank. So that's the way it works. And, you know, everybody's, for years, people have said this. Oh, you can get a bank account. You just have to go to the right bank. You have to know which place to go. That's how it is. And I'm telling you now, I have 3 Bangkok Bank, 1 CASHAPP, 1 Siam Commercial, 1 time military. What else do I have? UOB. I have 7 bank accounts. And I'm not shutting any of them. I won't shut any of them. May not keep much money in any of them, but I'm not going to shut any of them. Yes, the embassy form. After I got the yellow house book, it eliminated that step. I opened accounts at 3 banks instead of 2 at the same bank. But we're not talking about Cambodia there, bozo. We're not talking about Cambodia. What do you care? I mean, it's easy. It's easier. It's not as easy as it used to be. I can tell you that. It used to be very, very easy to get your Cambodian visa, and you could get one for like 3 years. You get like a business visa or something like that. It's not anymore. You actually have to show them the paperwork, which before you didn't really have to do that. It was just pay the money, and you were in. Bank account not required. Just remember this. In the beginning, Cambodia was very easy. In the beginning, Vietnam used to have a visa program set up for people that wanted to move there. The Philippines is very easy. As those countries become more affluent, their requirements will go up. They will not be so forgiving to people who want to come in, and you're going to need to show them things that you might not need to show now. Now, if you're in already, generally they grandfather everything, just like they do that here. And they've done that here for a long time. Bangkok Bank on Saturn told me, "Midai, sir, cannot." 3 days later in Nong Khai, they said, "Sure." That's what I mean. So you may be able to go into one place and you can't go into another. It just depends on the bank. It depends on, what you're doing and what kind of paperwork you have. It really depends. It's all up to you guys. But it can be done. And you're going to need to do it. And I just was reading the other day how if you decide that you want to come over here and you decide you're gonna get yourself all set up. What was it that I saw? I'm trying to think here. I can't remember now. Well, I'll figure it out in a second. What is this? When you decide you're going to come over here and you say, "I'm going to get all the paperwork," you may think you're going to get all the paperwork. You probably won't. But, nobody's perfect. You got to remember that when you come over here. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to get everything right. You're going to forget something. They may tell you, "Oh, just make a copy of this and you're good to go." It might be that. It might be that you forgot something that is very, very important and they want you to fill that out. I don't know, but it depends on what you bring to the table and how well prepared you are. If you do your research, and you can do all the research in the world and still screw up. It happens. So don't be too hard on yourself. You don't have to. You don't have to kill yourself when you're coming over here. We had to go to 3 different Bangkok banks before we found one that would open an account. It's great now. I've got it. Especially being able to scan QR codes for payments. Yes, that is fantastic. It's a great thing to be able to scan and pay. You can pay for your electric bill, your water bill, whatever bill it is. You can do that, and uh, you know, it's just a matter of having that bank account. So that's pretty important. And some people used to say to me, "Oh, I don't need to have a bank there in Thailand." Okay, don't have one. It's up to you. But you're not going to be scanning anything. You're not going to be doing this. Um, you know, if you don't have a bank account. And the thing is that it makes things a lot easier. I don't care. Oh, they're trying to do this. They're trying to. I don't care about all that. I mean, honestly, if the government wants to get you, they'll get you. If they want to know everything that you're doing, they will figure it out. They can do that because they have all the manpower and all the time in the world, um, and they will do it. Yeah, prompt pay is good. Prompt pay is good because some motorbike and taxi drivers don't always have a little scan code, a QR code, or whatever it is. Usually, most of them figure it out in time, but um, the the prompt pay is just another way to pay. And the thing is now I almost never carry cash. I mean, I might take 200 baht out and it'll last me for 2 or 3 days, and that's just basically to pay the motorbike driver to go to and from wherever I'm going. It might be just to the mall or to Happy Land or something like that, and everything else I don't ever pay for it with cash. You know, right, Bo? Mm-hmm. So I like the way you spelled Gennaro. That's very good. Very thoughtful and creative. My name is Peng. I'm the voice of the lady in the live. All right. Well, we don't need that in here. All right. So then the other thing you got to think about is your cost of living. We talk about this all the time. Um, and what I'll say is that the cost of living here has gone up and continues to go up. However, it hasn't gone up as much in some as here as it has in some places. Um, there are some places. What is this here? Why did they have to put this here? Let me see what the. Yeah, the cost of living here has gone up, and what I see is people are saying now that the minimum cost to live here is $650. It's not 500 anymore. And what I would say about that is that the rent is that they show here is $230. Okay, which is that's about what we pay. We don't pay that much. Um, and this is pretty recent as well. Let me see here. Yeah, adjusted for 2023. Many digital nomads can live on a baseline of $650. Honey baby. Okay, you live off of $650. I mean, you can do it. Don't get me wrong. However, let me see. It's here. Foreigners will have a baseline cost of $600 minimum. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's cheaper in some places, but let me see what she's got here. She's got maid in here, $15 a month. Wow, so that's like one time a month. Electricity, $30, and water, $30. So electricity and water, she has $30 down here. This is living as a person who wants to live in a single Singles establishment like a little one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment. This is not somebody who wants to live somewhere else. I can tell you our electricity is as much as our rent. It's anywhere from 6 to 8 thousand a month now. It used to be 5,000. It's gone up. Food is, she's got $190. Maybe for her it's $190. But if you're a strapping young lad, I'm going to say it's going to cost you at least about 7,000 baht, maybe up to about 10,000. And that's just eating Thai food. If you're eating Thai food, if you eat Thai food 3 times a day, that's at least $200 a month. She's got scooter and gas, 100. Evenings out, 75. She has nothing else here. She doesn't have. Oh, she's got rent. So internet is included in the rent of $230. So you're going to have to stay in a place that includes this, and that you're not going to spend. I mean, you can do it. Don't get me wrong. You can do it, but it's going to be a. Yeah, it's going to be, you're existing, you're not living, and I don't care what she says. You're not going to be doing much on 650 bucks. She's paying more than a third. She's paying like 35% for her rent. Yeah, it's too much. All right, here's somebody that they're living for $2,600 a month. To me, that sounds a little bit more correct. But anywhere from about 1,500 and up is pretty good. Let me see here. $1,200. It really depends on your lifestyle. That's what I'm gonna say. It's still the same in comparison. Well, not really. I don't know, but in comparison, it's still the same. Um, and the reason is because some things are quite a bit more expensive, like electricity. So you've got around 20,000 baht, which I think is great. If you're going to spend, if you really are into eating and you want to eat good, you want to eat healthy, you want to do things right, uh, that's what you would spend. High so lifestyle. Well, high so people have a lot more needs and wants than low so people or mid so people. So, that might be 300,000, 500,000. It might be $1 million a month. I don't know. Um, yeah, no. In comparison to the United States, the prices have gone up, and I think that here they've gone up. Let's say they've gone up 5%. In America, they've gone up 7% or more. So the comparison between here and the United States, here in Australia, here in Great Britain, or wherever, it's fine. If you're single and renting, great. My wife and I plan to come when I finish working, but now it's not as expensive as it used to be. We still need health insurance there, and that's another thing that people don't always think about. That is insurance, and that is not cheap, especially if you're older. If you're younger, it tends to be cheap, and that's the way it goes. Well, that's because I don't have PayPal. I'm sorry, I don't have PayPal anymore. They don't allow PayPal in Thailand. They do, but it's a big pain in the neck to get it. My son is 7 and will need to go to private school. Well, then you're going to need to pay for it, which can be costly. You know, might cost you 15,000 a term. It might cost you 100,000 a term. It depends on where you decide to go, and just how private the school is. You know. I'm glad that Alex and Nicholas are pretty much done with school. Alex is done, and if he wants to get his master's degree, well, then we got to work on that, and he's got to find a place where he can work that will pay for uh, uh, some of his schooling, his education, because we would like him to get his master's degree. That would be a good thing. He can get his master's degree. Insurance, visas, money in the bank for visas, etc. 600 would not be homeless, starving to death, but pretty miserable otherwise. Yeah. Well, for some people, it's all about, oh, today I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go have a nice Thai meal. And then they go home and they chill out, they do whatever, clean up their house, and then they go, oh, I'm going to go out to lunch today. They go out and get a lunch. They come back and they just, eat at home or whatever. Then they go, oh, tonight I'm going out to dinner. And they spend, 80 baht on dinner. And they spent their 200 baht for the day. And, I'll be honest, every once in a while I go, I'll get in with the Thai thing. And I go and I eat some Thai food, and then I figure it out. Oh, well, I only spent 150, 200 baht today. But, it really depends on what you're eating and how much you're eating. Because sometimes you get a meal and you go, this is not enough. I need another one. And you're paying 60 or 80 baht, 50 baht, whatever it is. And you're like, I need another one. So let me get another meal. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's not all that much. That's go-go money for a few nights. Wait, we're because the U.S. will tax my pension, then I'll have to pay Thai taxes too. No. That's not how it works, Pierre. Unless you're earning over a certain amount, they're not gonna tax your pension. You're gonna have to pay one or the other. There is an agreement, a tax agreement between the U.S. and Thailand, and unless you earn over about $120,000, you don't have to pay tax. Yeah, everybody's going to do that. Everybody's going to survive off of street food. Everybody thinks they can do that. And, in the beginning you can. Because everything is new. It's exciting. You're like, wow, I'm going to have this and I'm going to have that. And then you decide, oh, well, maybe I'm going to go out to a lunch today. And you're going to go somewhere, like Fuji or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, instead of paying 50 baht or 100 baht, you're spending 1,000. There's street food hamburgers, and those cost about 350 baht now. They're not cheap. Even the ones I get, where is it? What's the name of that place? I'm trying to think here. I'm blanking out here. They make the burgers. There's two places I know. Well, the one is 200. Oh, that's the. I think it's normal steakhouse. It's like 239 baht, and that's without a drink or anything. You're figuring 300 baht. Then there's another place where they charge like 250 or something like that. But most places, if you want to go, if you're like in an area, like if you're in Jono's area, you're in somebody else's area, you're in an area where there's a lot of tourists, or they figure they can get away with it, you may pay 350 baht for a burger. Thanks for the info, that's good. My wife was working quietly in the garden yesterday until a long, thin green snake fell from the carport roof. It slithered under the car until I poked. But you gotta be careful about those green snakes, because the green snakes, they can be, some of them are poisonous. There are some green snakes that are poisonous, but they're only poisonous for lizards and other small reptiles. But if they bite you, it'll just irritate your skin. And there are some that are not poisonous. So. Yeah, well, go get a burger there for 100 baht now. That's not gonna happen. Natural writer, you're bringing up these things that like you could just look up online. Big deal. They're fiercely nationalistic. Okay, so what does that mean? It doesn't really mean a whole lot when you're coming here because they're very nice to people, and they tend to be quite welcoming and friendly most of the time. That's how it goes. It was lightning fast. So did he get away? So anyway, that's where it goes. I mean, if you're talking about like I forget what that burger joint I went to with Tom was. It was like a Muslim burger joint, and it was quite good. I think it was somewhere around 290, 300 baht, something like that. And you got your burger and some fries and like a Coke. So you're looking at about 9, 10 bucks minimum. Yeah, that was the little green snake. Could have been poisonous. I have a video up from many years ago of a green snake eating a gecko, eating a takal, is what they're called. It's a type of lizard, and the thing was eating a takal at the Ayuthi historical museum, historical park, or whatever it is. It was eating that, and we just happened upon it. It was right next to somewhere where you get a drink, and we just left it there. I told the kids, leave it alone. And I actually sent it in. I sent the video in to a guy who, I think he still lives in Thailand, and he knows all about snakes. He's had all kinds of experiences with snakes. And he wrote back and said, that snake is poisonous. But it's not very poisonous, and if one of you got bit, it probably would just irritate the skin. So, you do need to be careful of snakes in Thailand, although I don't see them very often. I'd say I see more monitor lizards in Thailand than I do um, snakes. I mean, without a doubt. I've only come across a cobra once in Bangkok, and I've come across 2 or 3 other snakes in Bangkok, but this is in 30 years. I mean, you know, where the snakes fall through the ceiling. Well, the cat fell through the ceiling in my bathroom, or in my bedroom, I think. Fell through the ceiling. Scared the hell out of me. I was streaming at the time. That was pretty funny. I should isolate that and come up with it. I don't know where it is, but I should figure out where it is, and I come across a snake about 5 times a day. I read that Bangkok Fire Department's #1 call was for snake removal. Wow. I don't know. I don't know about that because I've never seen them. Maybe it's where we're staying. I don't know, but we don't generally see them. So, yeah, what are you now? You're not 2Q Asia? What's going on here? General cost of living is significantly lower than in countries like the UK. Numbeo puts the average cost of living at 35% lower than the UK, with the cost of rent 61% lower. Having said that, the GDP per capita is much lower in Thailand than in Western countries. However, yeah, moving here can be quite expensive. And that's because of, if you're going to ship things over here, it's just going to be expensive. I mean, it is extreme. I can tell you this, that every once in a while, my parents have had to send some things over to me, and they weren't very big. They were like, it was like a bank card or a letter or something like that, and it was like $100 to send it over. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, it's like $100 to send it over. So it's going to be expensive if you're going to ship stuff, and if you're shipping, a household full of stuff that you want to like bring over, even though you can't use a lot of the electrical appliances or anything like that, unless you have a converter, which is a pain in the neck, and you'd be better off just buying your stuff here. Um, and I did it with a, what was it? It wasn't a converter. It was an adapter, and I thought it was a converter, and I plugged it in and it burned the espresso maker out. So anyway, so that's very important to remember. The cost of living is always important. Everybody worries about it. Everybody who doesn't have an exorbitant amount of money worries about the cost of living. Let's see here. The cost of moving a family house with a standard amount of furniture and possessions from the UK can cost between 2,300 to 5,500 pounds, according to Reload Advisor. If you bring your own car to Thailand, come on. It's free for the first 6 months, but after this, you have to pay an import tax of 200% of the car's value. You don't want to bring a car here. Come on. That's just stupid. Really, it's foolish to do that. Now, like I said, you should get some health insurance, some kind of health insurance. It's a must, especially if you're older and, you're going to need it. Let's see here. Before moving to Thailand, it's absolutely essential you take out health insurance according to Thai law. All expats living in Thailand must be covered by public health Thai insurance or private health care. Our area has an infestation of pigeons. They shit everywhere. I wish the snakes would eat them. That's funny. That's funny. Well, I say it's funny, but in all honesty, um, if you are dealing with pigeons, pigeons are like flying rats. Air quality is worse. Yaba is out of control. I tell her, I think she is the one who has changed. She's American now. I would say the air quality is worse. It's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, it is as bad or worse than it used to be. Excuse me. Um, However, I was complaining about it every day, talking about, oh, the air quality is so bad in Bangkok, it's terrible, it's 150, and now it's almost always under 50. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't know exactly why. And as far as the Yaba goes, I'm not in the drug scene, and nor do I want to be. And the reason I don't want to be is because I don't want problems that have to do with being involved in that. Carnivore, what's happening, buddy? How you doing? My wife says, let's see here, she's American now. I think that it's both things. I think she's changed and Thailand has changed. Yaba's been out of control for a long time, but I don't ever see it. I mean, maybe there are some, workers down at the market, the local market or whatever, or somewhere else that are taking it. I don't know, but I mean, you know, well, I would say that, yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm not involved in it. No, I don't know if that's what it is. Well, that's on you, man. I mean, really, to tell your kid about drugs and everything like that is on you. Uh, what does this say? I can't see what it's saying. can't read that. For some reason, it's not coming through, Dallo. Um, I don't know. I don't know if my kids know people that are involved in it. Uh, I don't really know. Thailand has changed, yes. I would say that especially in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, up in that northern area, it seems like the air quality is worse than it used to be. And I would say that in Thailand, in Bangkok, the air quality is worse than it used to be. However, it seems to be a lot better in the last few months. So I can't say it's really bad. Now, maybe it has to do with the burning season. I don't really know. I'm not sure. No, it's the way it goes. Half the village is all messed up with Yaba, a bunch of zombie meth heads wandering around looking for something to steal. Yeah, I mean, maybe in the villages. I don't know. Uh, but we're taking a look at coastal Delaware. That's quite a bit different. It's quite a bit different than here. Um, and, maybe if you think about it, maybe it's that particular village where you are. I don't know, Fire Dude. Because I've been to a few and I really haven't seen it. I don't see it, and I know what to look for. I know, like people fidgeting and they're all, and I just don't get involved with it. I haven't been around it very often. Hey, by the way, guys, do me a favor. Leave a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Hit the join button. That'll only cost you $1.99. Big money. Go down in the description and check out everything else: the Cash App, the Patreon, the Buy Me a Coffee. Go to my website at anamericaninbangkok.com. There's news every day. It's updated with at least one, maybe two or three articles. We've also got a shop on there where it has my books, and it's got merch, shirts, mugs, hats, and the like. So if you would do that, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, that would help a lot. That would help. That would show the love. Thank you very much. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say about the whole Yaba thing. I don't know about it. I don't get involved in it. I'm not around it. There's here in our village. I would say there was one person that I think was on it, and he hasn't been around for. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he's staying, but I don't think he's in the uh, in the village any longer. Tap water quality. Well, I don't drink the water. I brush my teeth with it, and I don't have any problems. But I don't drink it. We buy our drinking water. You know. I guess depending on where you are and if you have a filter or not, maybe um, you know maybe you could use the tap water. Uh, I don't know. I don't really think about it all that much because I just don't. I have my water and I drink it, and that's how it is. We get our water sent to us every once in a while, and we pay, I don't know, 1,000 baht, and it's for about 1,000 baht is for about 2 months for us. It didn't used to last as long, but now we don't have one person here most of the time. And Alex, I mean, he drinks his water and everything, but he's not here all the time either. So, that's something else. Um, God, where would you say is the safest region in Thailand? Come on. That's a loaded question. Really, it's a loaded question. I mean, if you go to any of the tourist areas, they're going to have tourist type problems. If you're in Pattaya, you're in Chiang Mai, you're in Phuket, you're in parts of Bangkok, um, there are going to be problems. And, how are you going to get away from those? You know. Bangkok air quality has sucked from February to May since I've been going there. No rain, no hot season. Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia, all burning crops. Yeah, they do. They do all burn the crops, and I've never seen any drug-related issues around our area. I'm sure though, probably is though just not in plain sight. Yeah, I know that down the street is like Soy 99 or 97 or something like that, Lot Prowl, and it says at night it's one of the most dangerous areas of in all of Bangkok, and the reason is because of the Yaba problem. But I don't go down there. I don't live there. I don't go down there. So what is it? It doesn't, fact. It's not a factor for me. Um, you know, as far as safety. I mean, I'm pretty safe here. I've never had any problems in my village. Do I feel safe? Yes, I do. I feel very safe. Uh, you know, do I feel safe when I go down to Surat? Yeah, I feel safe. I feel safe in all the places that I go to. You know, in fact, in Thailand, I would say that the only time I haven't felt safe, I mean, maybe late at night at a bus station, I really kind of felt a little uneasy. But most of the time, I don't feel unsafe. You know, it's just it's that easy. I mean, I don't think my wife's ever felt unsafe. I don't think my kids have ever felt unsafe. I don't think we felt yeah, okay, a little bit unsafe there because they're shooting at people, but they weren't shooting at us. And the reason that we were unsafe is because we put ourselves in that position. Thailand definitely seems safe. When I was in Colombia, you constantly are looking around, but get used to it. Yeah, I've been to Colombia, and there were some times where I was a little nervous, but I wouldn't say that I felt really unsafe. But I wasn't there all that long, and I didn't get put in any positions that I didn't want to be in. So, um, cost of living. So, like I said, the cost of living is important. Um, have you researched the places where you want to live? If you found a place, have you contacted the landlord, made an offer, and if you've agreed on living in a place, have you received your agreement, your tenancy, your contract to live in the place? Something important. Um, what is this here? I don't feel unsafe. My life is in immediate danger, but for sure you have to keep your place and stuff secure so it's not liberated. Yeah, I don't really have that problem here. I mean, generally, someone's home the majority of the time. There's someone always home here, but every once in a while, um, we have to leave and we just lock the door. And I don't feel like, oh, somebody's going to come in and steal from us. I don't feel like that's the case. You know, most of the neighbors are around my age, we'll say, or older. They're within 10 years plus or minus. And then they have kids, and then they have kids. I mean, there's a lady across the street that she had a couple of kids. They were living with her. Well, with the kid, her daughter and the daughter's husband were living with her. And then I guess they moved out. They had a kid. Now the kid is growing up. And then there's a lady across the street who She used to be the chicken quintillo lady, and now her daughter had a daughter and or a kid. I don't know. I think it's a daughter. All I know is little and cute. So pretty cool. You want safe? Stay the hell home. Otherwise, don't. The end. I wouldn't go that far. Every time you go out, you run the risk of an encounter. But what I would say is that in most cases, if you just kind of are mellow most of the time, you're not going to have problems. I've had a few problems in my life here over the years, but most of the time, no, I don't. I don't really have any. I think the last time was on the Songtao with that one guy. That's the last time I've had any problems. Never had a problem since then. You know. So, anyway, listen, I'm going to say it one more time because we're getting ready to get out of here in a few minutes. But smash the like button, please. I would appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the join button. $1.99, $3.99, whatever you want to pay, but it's cheap. Do that. Go to Cash App or Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. And go to my website at AnAmericanInBangkok.com. You can get one of my books. You can get some merch. You can get a little bit of news from the area. And I think it's quite appropriate. So that's really all I have. It's about time for me to go because I need to be somewhere today. I don't know how she's doing. Whatever. When I get there, I get there. If I get there, I get there. But there's some other places I want to go, and there are some other things that I want to do that I haven't been talking about. Very, very important things that I can do where I'm not in the videos. You don't see me. You don't hear me, and they'll actually be really good once I get them done. But that'll take a little bit of time. And so, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm changing things a little bit here. Like always, I'm always changing stuff. Anyway, one more thing here. Banking, you have all your paperwork. Get yourself set up with the bank. If you're coming over here, you got to do that. You got to get set up for the health care. And you got to figure that out before you leave, what you're going to do. And then you got to figure out how much it's going to cost to move you over here because it's going to cost you something. But you can do it. It can be done. And, yeah, You totally forgot about beer until her admirer mentioned her. Exactly. That's what I mean. All right. I go and talk to her. Hey, how you doing? How's things? Everything good? Yes. Okay, all right. Thank you. Boom. Okay, just drink my coffee and it's on to the next thing that I'm doing. So, alrighty then. Thank you everybody for joining me. I appreciate it. And I guess, we're not talking about Rap God. We're not going to talk about that place. I don't want to eat there. Don't want to drink there. I don't want anything to do with that place. It's not going to It's not going to happen. So, I guess until next time, that's all I have. That's all I got. So, choked to all of you. Jerk on my, all that good stuff. Good luck. See you later. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll see y'all later.